Good morning. Hello, hello. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. Episode, where are we at? 868. It's the NFL Draft special. We are on StreamYard. I am late because of many things. Number one, I'm on StreamYard, so that's why I'm late. That's why I don't use StreamYard. It takes forever to get all of this stuff. Number two, why I'm late, my computer sucks. And number three, why I'm late, my computer sucks, and all of these damn websites require two-step authentication. So not only was my computer slow to start up, I think I fired it up at 6:40, and I'm like, plenty of time. Even once it gets fired up, I'll still be on at the latest 7:05 because I'm on StreamYard. Nope. We've got a double. I'm still not in Twitter because of their damn authentication. I've got to figure out how to avoid. I want no security on my computer. Just let me in. It's harder for me to get into my websites than it is for a hacker. A hacker could get in faster than I can. Take away all this frickin' security. Let me in. So YouTube, I still couldn't get into YouTube. So I probably would have been late regardless if I was on StreamYard or not, because YouTube was giving me a headache. I'm still not on Twitter. Facebook was actually pretty easy to get back into. StreamYard, I just had to sign in. Anyway, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. So while I am on StreamYard, it's not going to have the bells and whistles. There's not going to be any bells and whistles on do I have any banners going? No. Let me create a banner, though. Since the Madison Card Show is this Saturday. Madison Card Show this Saturday at the Sheraton Hotel. Wait, I better go this Saturday? What if I'm watching on replay? 4/29. Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. There you go. So we're going to add that. Let's show it. You know what? Let's scroll that puppy. Okay. Save it. Show it. Okay. So we've got that going. So at least we've got a banner. So good morning. Happy Thursday. By the way, I did forget to take out the trash after the show yesterday. I was in a hurry to get my second cup of coffee and didn't even think about it. So I don't care. What else is going on? What else? I had Casey's Pizza last night. My wife had a listing appointment, and I'm like, does that mean dinner's on my own? She says, yeah. She goes, what crap are I'm paraphrasing. What crap are you going to eat? Like, I'm feeling Casey's Pizza. And I got to thinking, I don't have the time. I'm still like buried in shipments to get out. And I thought, because the last time I ordered Casey's Pizza, I had to go to Belleville, which is like a 25-minute drive. But there's a Casey's like 5 minutes away. And then the second closest is 25. So, but the one that's 5 minutes away doesn't always have pizza. I think they're short-staffed. So I'm like, if I have to, if Verona's not doing pizza tonight, I'm just going to eat something else. I'll just eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, something crap. So, I checked. Sure enough, they are serving pizza. So I did order my Casey's taco pizza. It was delicious. While watching the Cubs game, they ended up losing. That sucks. But tonight's the NFL draft, so I'm wearing my Chicago Bears hoodie. The Bears have the number 9 pick. We're going to do a mock draft this morning. We're going to do a mock draft. I'm going to take you through, it's pff.com. pff.com. We're going to go through the entire first round, and we're not going to do trades. I think there's going to be trades, but once you start getting in the weeds of, well, I think this team might trade, I mean, it's hard enough to peg the first round as it is because there's always going to be a surprise, especially this year. There's not like a clear cut. There's like 3 players that are rumored to be the number 1 pick, and it's like I think there's a lot of gamesmanship. We're going to get into that once we get on the clock with the Carolina Panthers. What else? I tallied up my Bowman sales. I did not get a chance, obviously, this morning to update it, but I tweeted it out yesterday afternoon, and it was my 10 blasters that were delivered. Now, I ordered my blasters from tops.com. They were delivered on Saturday. So I was, several days before release day was yesterday. And I just fired away, put those singles up, and I undersold a lot. Like I pulled out of my 10 blasters, I pulled 7 James Outman rookies. 6 of them I sold for $5 a piece, which is more than what they're going for now, just a day after release. But they were going for upwards of $20 to $25. I sold 6 of the 7 for $5, and the 7th one I sold for $15. So I left some money on the table. The Bowman spotlight inserts were selling upwards of $20. I was selling mine for $5, which that's the market price. There's some stuff that I start high, especially the color refractors. I start high and field offers. What's the market actually gonna be? And then I'll, drop the prices. So, my total after tax and shipping was like $316 on 10 blasters. My sales were just under $1,400. That's gross sales, so that doesn't include fees and shipping. But my gross sales on $316, $1,400. And I won't know the specifics on my total cost because of a lot of that standard envelope shipping, which you don't get if you do standard envelope shipping. Wednesdays are the big day where it drains your account of postage. So we'll figure that out. Plus, after I tweeted that out, I probably made another $50 in sales. So it might be close to $1,500 in gross sales off of $300 in blaster boxes. By the way, I think Bowman is still live on Target for $30 a blaster box, which is a great price. I bought 6. You can buy 3 at a time. I bought 6 blasters off Target. I went to DealerNet, which is a site. If you have, you can become a member. It does cost. It's like $25 a month, and you do have to have a resale tax license and all that stuff. And they had, I ended up buying a case of blasters at $27 a blaster. So, because I love Bowman, and I think there's even now after release, I think there's value in it. Not as much value. I mean, you're not going to flip $300 to $1,500, but I still think there's going to be value. So that's my Bowman talk. We're going to talk NFL draft today. We're going to go through a mock draft. My mock draft, and I want to take your thoughts on what you think is going to happen tonight. First round tonight, rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow night, and then rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. And I think Saturday is Saturday still. I can't remember if they. I just remember, man, back in the day, I love all draft, even the NBA draft. I don't watch the NBA. I don't even watch the NBA, but I love the NBA draft. NFL draft, I enjoy the NFL draft more than I enjoy the NFL games. Major League Baseball, I love them equally. The baseball itself and the draft. But a lot of the guys in the Major League Baseball draft, like I'll follow, I know who some of the guys are that are going to be drafted, but it's so much different. in baseball than it is football, basketball. So let's go to the chat. We are on StreamYard today. Woo! Taking advantage of that subscription for my one-time use. It's like I pay $25 per time I go on StreamYard. George in the house. What is up, George? Let's see. We've got Hall of Fame card collector. Good morning to you. We've got Brian Dean. What's happening? David is here. What's up, David? Alex, good morning. He says, go Yankees. I was getting worried about the Yankees. I think this is probably for non-Yankees fans. My take is probably a hot take. The Yankees being good is good for baseball. And I know a lot of people, they're screw the Yankees, F the Yankees. But I think the Yankees being good is good for baseball. I think the Cowboys is much as it sickens me to say, I think the Cowboys being good is good for the NFL. I think the Lakers and Celtics being good in the NBA is good for basketball. It's the big market. So I think it's good when the Yankees are good. Goof Morgan to you, Uncle Rich. He says, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that other stuff. Thank you, Uncle Rich. David Mercer, go Rays. The bats are cold now. They're going to get colder because Tampa's in Chicago now, right? Or are they in, what day is today? Today's Thursday. So I think the Cubs going to Tampa? Damn it. Now I can't remember. I think the Cubs are leaving today for a road trip. And I think they play the Rays. So that would mean they are in Tampa. They're in Miami. When do they play? I thought they played Tampa. Man, I thought they were playing them last series. Not this weekend. Well, they're playing Tampa on May 29th. So I'm way off. So the Cubs are in Miami. So, hey, they can warm those bats this weekend. So 5:40 first pitch. Wait, no, that's tomorrow. Jesus H. What the hell's going on in my head today? May. I'm on the wrong month. Today's Thursday. They are playing the Padres. So it's getaway day. 1:20 first pitch. Padres and Cubs. Tomorrow, they go to Miami because they take off tonight. Okay. Uncle Rich says, for so long, I've been waiting so long, waiting for a host like Bo to begin his day. That's a music reference, and I am not remembering what it was for. There's Low Roller Scratcher. No shit. Let's see. Paul Heath in the house. What's up? Good morning to you. We've got Paige and Deanie Bean. Hall of Fame card collector says he got up early to watch. Well, enjoy the show. Harlan in the house. What's happening? Hall of Fame says he'll be dressed in the dining hall before I get on. Well, hopefully you've got your pants on. Terry Alexander, good morning to you. Good morning, Kyle. You are never late for Hobby Evolution. There's no show. Yeah, just think about the weekends. It's a free-for-all on the weekends. Whenever the hell I want to go on, I go on. I do like to be on at a certain time during the week. I like to hit that 7 o'clock. People like their routines. Apparently, people like their routines. Goof morning to you, Ed. We'll catch the replay later. Have a great day. Thank you, Ed. Jenny says, Jesus, there's way too much hate in the comments for his arrival time. How about we all just appreciate he does the show for free? Thank you. Amen, says Kyle. Eric, you can see Eric this Saturday at the Madison Card Show. Eric will be at the Madison Card Show. We're sold out. Sold out card show. Actually oversold. So I've got to get creative today and tomorrow. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Madison Card Show, dates are set. So Eric, any other dealers that are set up, or if you're thinking about setting up, I do have the dates for July, August, September. Let me get into my, God damn it. Let me get into my email. Don't you hate it when you're trying to get into like your email or your whatever it might be, and you get all these damn pop-up notifications. And so you're like, oh, there, I want to click on my email, boom. And it takes you to Twitter. I freaking hate that. I guess I could turn off push notifications, right? Where are we at? We're looking at July, August, September dates. The good news is we will have a July Madison Card Show. It was in danger because the Sheraton's only giving me 3-month contracts. So there's only one weekend that works for me in July, and that's July 22nd, the Saturday before the National. If I was not able to get that date, there would not have been a show. But the show will go on July 22nd. So the upcoming dates for the Madison Card Show this Saturday, April 29th, Saturday, May 27th, Saturday, June 17th, Saturday, July 22nd. That's the Saturday before the National. Saturday, August 26th, and Saturday, September 30th. So those are the dates for the next Madison Card Shows, and I'll get those updated on the Facebook page and all that good stuff. Low Roller Scratcher finally put a new video up. He says he does 3 videos a week. He lies. Low Roller Scratcher is a liar about his videos. He does not do 2 to 3 videos a week, yet it says so on his YouTube page. Apparently he has a new video, so check that out. Let's see. Herman says, good morning. Happy draft day. Flipping Sports Guy says, how often does Bo forget the trash at the new place if it's a different day? That's going to throw a curveball because I can't remember what our last house was. I think our last neighborhood was Mondays. That was always Monday's a tricky trash day. You're coming off the weekend. Maybe it's like Super Bowl Sunday and you've got a little headache on Monday morning. And it's like, I don't want to wake up early to take the trash out. And you forget. We'll see. I think it's Wednesday in the new neighborhood. I should know. I'm in that neighborhood every frickin' day. I should know when the trash day is. I think it's Wednesday. Did I go to the new house yesterday? No. Yeah. And I didn't see any trash cans out. Maybe it's Thursday. I'll find out today if there's any trash cans at the curb. There were no trash cans at the curb yesterday. So it might be a Thursday trash day. Good morning, Steve Ains Comedy in the house. Let's see. Rich says he was not showing hate. I was adapting a Foreigner song. I knew it was a song. I couldn't remember. We're talking NFL draft today. We're going to go through a mock draft of the first round. Hall of Fame card collector is nervous who the Colts are going to draft. I kind of want Stroud or Will Levis. Well, my opinion, I think one of those two players will be there for the Colts at number 4. So we're going to get into that here in just a couple minutes. Dan is in the house. What's up, Dan? He picked up some of the greatest cereal, the GOAT of cereal, in my opinion, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Hadn't had it in decades. It is the GOAT of cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I have some. That's the only cereal I eat. Sometimes I'll get, like, if I get in a cereal mood, I'll pick something different up, but typically the only cereal in my house, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Reppin' Rajon Rondo, good morning. Had some strong coffee today and ready to go. Man, I want more coffee. Ooh, that's good coffee. Peanut butter crunch from Door County Coffee. Flipping Sports Guy says, I was surprised my Wednesday drain wasn't as bad this week. I wonder if I'll get hit more today. Last week I had the eBay drain on Thursday. Same here. So what Flipping Sports Guy is referencing is the standard envelope when eBay takes your money out of your account, your managed payments account, for standard envelope postage. Mine wasn't as bad either this week. And also last week, mine came on Thursday. So you are not alone. I had the exact same thought as I watched my account drain. Here's what I'm thinking, Paul. I'm wondering if they didn't take it all out yesterday, and because it's just weird. There's no rhyme or reason. Like I've had Friday, I've had like Wednesday goes by, Thursday goes by, and then all of a sudden Friday. It's only happened once, I think, on Friday. It's happened more commonly on Thursdays. I'm wondering if we'll get hit twice this week because I don't feel I paid because I pretty much run about the same amount of shipments, and it scales up typically. Now the next 2 weeks for me probably will be pretty high because of all the Bowman that I sold. And so my daily numbers were much higher than the average. So I noticed that as well yesterday. It didn't take as much. I don't know. This is me thinking anecdotally. I don't know what the actual drain was on my account. I guess I could go look. But it doesn't seem like it was as high as it usually is. Need a lot more Saturday Pro Football. I love the name. Welcome to the chat. My Bills about to get D. Hobson. Glad you could jump on. Great job, Bo, on the 2023 Bowman sales. And here's the thing, and I want to do a video. I probably won't. I say that often. I want to do a video. The truth is I probably won't. People like, oh, did you get a big hit? Last year I made a ton in eBay sales, but it was kind of riding on the coattails of my yellow chrome auto Ellie De La Cruz that sold for $1,400. This year, on those 10 blaster boxes, I didn't pull a single auto. The highest, and when in some of the replies, I commented that $40 was my highest sale. I was wrong. $50 was my high. $50 was my highest sale, and I did, I'm going to do close to $1,500, if not more than $1,500 in gross sales on 2023 Bowman with the highest single. And that will be on these 10 blasters, the highest sale, because I think the next highest card in my store is like $10. All of the other cards sold. So I think there were a couple $35 sales, the $50 sale, a couple $35, maybe a $40, and then maybe a couple $20, and then a lot of $1.50, a lot of $5, a lot of $10. But it all adds up. Brian Dean says, if anyone is interested, I have NFL 2021 and 2022 NFL Bowman Chrome and paper listed. We'll be adding more today. I like running backs. He's rooting for Bijan Robinson. He's like a top 3 player in the NFL draft. He's not going to go top 3. That's the quirk of the NFL draft. You have the most talented player doesn't mean they're going to go where their talent ranking is. So Brian has some Bowman. I also have a lot of last year's Bowman U still in my store. And I've got a few singles from this year's Bowman U Chrome in my store as well. George says the NFL is very much an out of sight, out of mind thing for me. Used to love it, but living in Korea for 15 years ended that. I would be the same. In fact, I think I would be the same for even like Cubs baseball. If I lived in Korea, I don't as much, and this is weird for me to say because I am just like, to say that I love the Cubs and I'm a fanatic for the Chicago Cubs is just a gross understatement. But I think if I was out of sight, out of mind to American sports, I wouldn't follow it. That's just the way, that's how I am. Like, that's just how my brain works. I was 2011 to 2014, I was working in college athletics. I wasn't a big Cubs. I was a Cubs fan. I'd watch some games here and there, but I was just immersed in college basketball and to an extent college football during college football season. I was much bigger into college basketball in my job. And I think some of the football coaches realize that. But it was the Cubs kind of like I was focused on college athletics. And before that, it was high school sports. Now it's Cubs baseball. And I think if you planted me in Korea, I would take that love that I have for the Cubs and I would probably put it into a KBO team. And I would have the same passion, a similar passion to whatever team I attached myself to. So I very much think the same way and have the same mindset when it comes to that. Flipping Sports Guy says the Yankees front office screwed the pooch this offseason, focusing on pitching again. The problem with the team for years has been their lineup, and until they address that, they won't win. Number 28. But don't they have like there's so much talent offensively on the Yankees. Like so much so that it's like, where do you put like a guy like Oswald Peraza? And I know he's up again, but it just seems like they've got a ton of talent on that team. Good morning, card hobbyist in the house. Brian's got a great question. Do you turn your computer off or just close the top to put it in sleep mode? I don't think I do either. I don't do either. I just leave it on all the time, and that's probably the problem. But no, sometimes if I'm working on my computer like I was last night, doing some shipping last night, for some reason it just like it doesn't shut down on its own, but I have to like turn it off and turn it back on. And then it just and sometimes I can do that and it slowly it fires up like a 56K modem. But sometimes like today, not only does it take forever to boot up, but it also like all of my websites, it like makes me sign in again. And then sometimes it just has like I love it when I come in and only the one light is on, because that way I can just move the mouse around and it wakes up because it's just in sleepy time. It's in sleepy time mode. I like that. So I don't know. I went into the settings, and I'll do this again. I went into the settings at one point and changed things around, and it was fine for a while. And then all of a sudden it reverted back. I think maybe an update wiped everything out. So that's what's going on. Brian says, any truth to what I see? It is better to end listings near the end of 30 days and sell similar to keep fresh. I have heard that. I think there might be some truth to that. So I know if you go on the Blowout forums, there's a great thread on the Blowout forums about doing that. I don't do it. I just let it get stale, I guess. But I'm constantly adding new inventory, and I kind of focus on the windshield and not the rear view mirror. But if you have lesser inventory, maybe that's the way to go. But yes, I have heard that that is a smart way to do it. John says, oh, have your hunting costume on today? Yes, I've got my Blaze Orange. Go Bears. Number 9 pick today. We're going to go through the NFL mock draft this morning. Good morning, Red Light 34. Bill's going to get that ring. Bill's going to get that ring. Good to see your facial hair growing in 3 weeks after you shaved. I know. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a man. Stop taking the name of the Lord in vain. I'm not going to do that. Good morning. Will the toothless, ruthless Cody, is it Mock, go in the first round? I don't think so. I think he will go second round. He's actually a guy that I want the Bears to get with one of their second round picks. Let's see. What I like about StreamYard, though, is I can see when these comments are made. We get Spicy Bo this morning. A little cayenne in the coffee. What's up, card hobbyist? MD Sports Cards. I have a Mac. Let's see. So I'm 13 minutes behind, it appears. Unfortunately or fortunately, my facial hair now looks similar to a Wookiee. I like growing facial hair 3 weeks after I shave because it means I don't have to shave every damn day. Spicy Bowman is great. Thank you. Flipping Sports Guy says, low roller had to slow down on videos. ComC sales aren't coming through, so no money for the scratchies. I think Bo got into the liquor cabinet. Put the trash out on Sunday night. That's what I do. But our trash day's Wednesday. Oh, if my trash day was a Monday. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, it's not something you would think being 40 years old, having to take out the trash for 20 years, that I would remember these things on a weekly basis. But no, I don't. Wookie Smooth, Jason Puck in the house. Mark Marinello, happy NFL draft day. Feels weird that my Jets have an actual NFL quarterback, albeit a little long in the tooth. Here's what, so I was watching, I don't know, ESPN Sports Center or something, and they had Aaron Rodgers' press conference with the Jets. And he's like, I'm old. And it's like he's 39. And now it's like, shit. Old is younger than me now. I remember when it first hit me was several years, 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was probably right after the 2016 World Series. And I was at a Kerry Wood fundraiser. David Ross was bartending. And there was a woman who was next to me and said something about, oh, I love David Ross. He's a silver fox. And I'm like, silver fox means he's old. And I'm like, how old is David? David Ross is like 2 years older than I am. That was when I realized, shit, I'm getting old. And now like the oldest players are younger than me. I don't like that. What's the over-under on Bo forgetting taking out the trash at the new house? It's going to be pretty good. I'll forget. What does your desk setup look like? A mess. A giant mess. Good morning, Talking Tatis. Rubber match at 11. My cardiologist wants me to purchase more cards. Really? I need, well, actually, I don't want a cardiologist. But if I did have one, I would want him to recommend the same. Bad teams fans nervous, Jets fans optimistic, LRS incorrigible. I think the world is being healed. What the hell? This is the dumbest take, Max. I'm going to leave that up. Just take that in for a second. How is Cinnamon Toast Crunch a nasty cereal? I'm going to at you. That's a terrible take. It's the best cereal ever. It's the GOAT. Dan says I need to have my favorite cereals. Fruity Pebbles shipped to me again with Cocoa Pebbles too. That's not bad. The thing with Fruity Pebbles, you got to eat it really fast because there's nothing worse than mushy Fruity Pebbles. You got to eat that fast. Good morning. Angel Baby Cards coming at us from Central California where it's only 5:47 in the a.m. Ooh. I just threw up in my mouth. Apple Jacks, and there's a reason why. It's not because it's a bad cereal. It might actually be. I might actually like it. I haven't had it since I was like 7 years old. And I think I had it with like spoiled or sour milk, or I was just sick from something else. Whatever it was, Apple Jacks was the last thing I ate before Ralphing. And I Ralphed up Apple Jacks. And I haven't eaten Apple Jacks since 1989. So I throw up a little when I hear or read the words Apple Jacks. Good morning, Dave. What's happening? Draft day is finally here. We're going to go through the mock draft. We're going to do a first round mock draft live this morning. That's why I'm on StreamYard. Taking advantage of that subscription that I never use. Low Roller says Mercari has their own standard envelope. I did hear that. Until you mentioned shipping label payments coming out once a week, I never noticed that. I thought it was instant. No, yeah, it comes out. Which is it's good for sellers. It's good for us because we don't pay until after the fact. So we get to keep that money for a little extra time. But then when it's taken out, it's like, hey, don't take all my money. Oh, Mark gives us a Mount Rushmore of cereal. Peanut butter Cap'n Crunch. That's a good one. It tears the shit out of my roof of my mouth. Cocoa Crisp. Apple. Oh my God, it's Apple Jacks again. What's with you 70s guys and your Apple Jacks? And Trix. I can take Trix. Peanut butter Captain and Crunch. Cap'n Crunch. Is okay. It just tears the shit out of my roof of my mouth. Cocoa Crisp. I'm not a big chocolate guy, so Cocoa Crisp doesn't do it for me, and Apple Jacks makes me throw up. My Mount Rushmore would be Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Probably Golden Grams, s'mores, and man, this is tough. I don't know, because I don't eat a lot of cereal. Maybe like Frankenberry. That was a good one. I love that. My mom would never buy that for me when I was a kid. Frankenberry, and she always bought me Life and Cheerios. I wanted frickin' Frankenberry and Boo Berry. Damn it. Or actually, here's the thing about Shithead Bo as a kid. He didn't care about the cereal. He just wanted the toy. If there's a baseball card in it, give me Wheat Flax. If it's got baseball cards, I'm taking the healthy cereal. I don't care. I'll suffer through just for the baseball card. John says, Mercari has no standards. I refuse to even sniff their product due to their ads. Skull Vikings. There's Kyle. We have to do a mock draft competition. So Kyle, we worked together at Western Illinois University, go Leathernecks, and we would do mock drafts. We would hang out at Kyle's house and watch the draft. Now he left me. Well, I left him for Wisconsin, and then he left Illinois for Minnesota. So we have to do a mock draft. It's a lot easier now. We don't have to type it into our phones anymore. We can go to pff.com and do a mock draft. I'm going to do my mock draft, and hell, it'll probably change by this afternoon. Low Roller says it's a great time to sell your sports cards since they have their own eBay standard envelope now. Reese's Puffs are the Mike Trout of cereals, modern and haul-worthy. Reese's Puffs are a good cereal. I remember when those came out, I was a big fan. Rice Krispie Treats, I loved that. I loved the Rice Krispie Treat cereal when that came out sometime in the 90s, I think. George says, fortunately, MLB gets some airtime here, so it keeps me engaged, and that thanks to the popularity of baseball here. Too bad Mercari as a whole is still a trash platform, says Flipping Sports Guy. I have not peeked at your YouTube video. Let's see. Jenny says I don't need his recommendations anymore. I could see if it was North Korea. There's internets now. Let's see. Dan says when you don't have free access to watch your team's games, it's tricky to keep up as a White Sox fan in New York. What's up, baseball card curmudgeon? Till Mercari can print 4x6 label without jumping through hoops, they won't be taken seriously. Question from Angel Baby Cards. How much is a decent amount of scans to use for Card Dealer Pro? Running low on funds, so I need to carefully plan. Here's my suggestion. Do the lowest subscription and then buy scans as you need them or can afford them, because the extra scans you buy will roll over. Your subscription scans at this time do not roll over. So I would suggest buying the cheapest subscription plan. Use those, and when you use those up, then buy what you want to pay for, but also know that you can use those at any time. They don't run out. George says, I'm a live sports guy for the most part, so times don't line up with work. That's a good point over in Korea. Let's see. Zach and Porter, what's happening? Good morning. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy to the eBay comment from earlier. I normally end and relist every 2 to 3 months. When you do that, it gives the item a brand new item listing number, which then bumps it to the top of organic search as it's a, quote, new item. Dan crossed over 45,000 listings last night. I'm going the other way. Let's see. Good morning, Dave. In need of trying to find the Nico Horner first Bowman 1 of 1. Oh, baby. That's a biggie. Let's see. Angel Baby says, how in the hell can you be listing so many cards? Is that real? It is real. Small Town Collectibles, Cody Mock. Round 2 to Cincy. He's a Bison, right? He's NDSU, North Dakota State. I wonder if StreamYard chat will react any differently than YouTube during Name That Player. I don't know. I don't think I've done. And I don't know if I probably won't do StreamYard tomorrow. Kumbaya. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy says just a slightly longer delay, but not much. Still pulls in the same order. Christian says, and we're going to get to it, we're 40 minutes in. We're going to get to the mock draft. We might go 2 hours this morning. So whoever was asking about an 8-hour show yesterday, we might get a little longer today because we're going to do the mock draft. So, hey, we get an hour of random talk, and then we can go into the mock draft for those NFL fans that want to follow the mock draft. Christian loves the 2023 NFL draft. Once upon a time, this was the highlight event of the Lions season. Now it signals the start of one of the greatest seasons in team history. Christian's drinking that Honolulu blue Kool-Aid. Flipping Sports Guy says, I truly think Aaron Rodgers has a man crush on Brett Favre. He copies everything he's done. I think it's the opposite. I think Aaron Rodgers does not like Brett Favre at all. Great time to mention the best soccer team in the world, Manchester City, dismantling league-leading. Is it Arsenal? Or is it? Or am I going to Midwestify it by saying Arsenal? Arsenal. Is it Arsenal? Going to the restaurant? That's what my dad always said. Well, if he didn't call it an eating place, yeah, we're going to go out to the restaurant. The restaurant. And then we drive by. Oh, is that an eating place? Arsenal. Let's see. Brian's been a Lions fan forever. John says when you have to explain your jokes, maybe they aren't jokes. It's called football, not soccer, the more you know. Hey, I found some soccer cards in the Goodwill pallet. I actually found, Low Roller probably going to be asking, what did you find in your Goodwill pallet? So I found, last night I went through some boxes, and I found a Peyton Manning rookie card. I found a Michael Vick rookie card. I found 2 Drew Brees rookies. That was about it. And some other stuff, but those were some highlights. Wizard Artist, what's up? Cocoa Pebbles makes the best chocolate milk. It does. It does. Max says cinnamon is horrible. Literally anything with cinnamon blows, and anything crunchy sucks. What the hell? Max was that kid. You were that kid. That your friend's mom had to make you hot dogs with ketchup because you wouldn't eat anything. You were a picky eater. Were you that kid, Max? Let's see. Jason says, I put fresh fruit on my Fruity Pebbles. What? That just sounds gross. Do you really? That sounds disgusting to me. Show me on the doll where Apple Jacks hurt you. In my belly, man. It hurt me in my belly. John, Cocoa Pebbles are one of the only cereals I will eat. Frosted Rice Krispies is tremendous. Most people haven't tried it. I've never tried. Rice Krispies is up there. Maybe I'll bump. What did I put? Who was my 4th choice? Like Frankenberry? I'd put Rice Krispies up there. Rice Krispies is a damn good cereal for like just being Rice Krispies. It's a damn good cereal. Let's see. Angel Baby says, and getting ready. It's hot here. Low 90s this week. Jeez, I need to go there. I think we might hit 60 today. Apple Jacks is truly the cereal of boomers. I didn't even realize they still made that. Tracy says, good morning. It's draft day. Yes, it is, folks. We're going to go through a first-round mock draft. You haven't missed it because we ramble on for an hour before we get to the real topic of the day. That's how it works on Hobby Evolution for those new here. Zach says, I can't agree with Max. Loved Apple Jacks as a kid, as that was a treat for sleepovers, which required a few weeks to repair the roof of my mouth. Oh, yeah, because that's a cereal you could eat dry, like put it in a little baggie. People who eat Frosted Rice Krispies cereals also drink IPAs. You know, I'm going to try a Frosted Rice Krispie. I hate IPAs. But Frosted Rice Krispies sounds pretty good. Apple Jacks makes Bo Apple yak. It does. Let's see. Angel Baby says, I can't find an SGC hat like yours to wear as I work on my cards. Where can I get one? Buying an Upper Deck cap this morning on eBay. I don't know. I got mine at the National from the SGC booth. I don't know if they sell them on their website or if there's any out there. Brian in the house, what's up? BK, Horatio Crunch, greatest cereal mascot name. Who is he? Who's Horatio Crunch? Small Town Collectibles. A lot of cereal talk this morning. People love their cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks. What's with you people and Apple Jacks? Frosted Flakes and Reese's Puffs. Okay. Reese's Puffs. I like it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like it. Frosted Flakes. Okay. Apple Jacks. Bleh. Let's see. Rep and Rajon. I just noticed that with the Super VIP, I have free parking for the week, but I'm flying in. So if you want it, I can meet up with you there. Hey, yes, I will pay you for that parking pass. That is awesome. Yes. Let's hook up because I will definitely take advantage of that parking pass and I will pay you money for that. Let's see. The triad of Count Chocula, Frankenberries, and Boo Berries doesn't get enough respect. The Dave Parkers of cereal. That's a really good point. Now, I totally agree with that. Count Chocula. I'm not a big Count Chocula fan, but just as a grouping, Count Chocula, Boo Berry, Frankenberry, amazing. And isn't there a fourth one now? But I agree. They are an underrated brand. Everybody here likes Frankenberry and Boo Berry. Frosted Flakes and Captain Crunch are classics. Tracy says, have made 3 good-sized sales this year on Mercari. None of them sold on eBay when listed there. Over $400 for all 3. I've got one of the dealers that sets up at my Madison Card Show, which you can see on the scroll this Saturday, John Nolan Drive at the Sheraton Hotel. He sells on Mercari. Says he does pretty well. Count Franken and Boo were great as a kid. They're absolute trash now. That might be true because I haven't had them in 25 years. So there's a lot of stuff like Mountain Dew. I freaking lived on Mountain Dew back 30 years ago. Now I can't even take a sip without spitting it out. The worst cereal is organic. Wood milk is eco-friendly. Let's see. I have a Boo Berry card from childhood. Not sure how it got in our collection. I also enjoyed Corn Pops. Oh, that's one. There's another one. I don't like Corn Pops. But at the end of the day, Honey Nut Cheerios is enough sweetness for me. Honey Nut Cheerios, that's a good one. That's a classic. Love me some Honey Nut Cheerios. Kellogg's 3D baseball and football cards in any cereal. Any cereal. Yes. For me, straight Captain Crunch for Angel Baby cards. Brian Baker bought the Yankees in 2 case breaks last night. Oh my God. No Spencer Jones because I watched a bunch of Bowman breaks and the Cubs were getting snapped up super fast. I was able to get paper base in like 3 cases. I had to pay like almost $300 for 3 cases worth of which actually isn't too bad. For 2022 Bowman draft, what I pay $120 for 3 cases. And this is brand new product, so I think it's worth it. But I saw like the Yankees were discounted, and this might have been a 3 case break to $910. And I'm like, should I take the chance on Spencer Jones? But if you bought into 2 case breaks and no Spencer Jones, oh man, I would feel like I did the day after eating Apple Jacks. Maybe we should do it. Screw the NFL draft. Let's do a cereal draft. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Mercari is a lot younger, guys. I've had vintage listed forever and no sales, and a lot of newer stuff priced up with almost instant sales. Interesting. Okay, we're nearly caught up in the chat. Zach and Porter says, rule growing up as a kid was we couldn't have cereal if sugar or corn syrup in the first 3 ingredients. Hated it then. Respect the hell out of it now. Or heck out of it. Respect the heck out of it now. Shredded wheat was my fave, but as an adult, I don't drink milk. You never see a grown elephant still drinking milk. Called being weaned. I don't drink much milk either. I heard Mercari has unlimited free listings to sell your sports cards. Talking Tatis says, I watch most days at 5 a.m. Farmer's got a farm. 420 doesn't happen on its own. Tatis leveling his swing, and the Friars record Soto has me worried. Angel Baby says, million. Honestly, I so enjoy this live chat and channel. I really don't think I want to go back and sit in some boring office anymore. Love it. Love it. Steve, what's up? Good morning. How much do you charge for volume quarter box cards at shows? Kind of depends. Typically, so if somebody hands me a stack of cards like this, and whether they haven't counted them or have counted them, say they have, like, I've got 88 cards, I'll be like, and it's faster for me to do get the calculator out than it is for me to figure out. 88 is what I can probably do the math. 88 on quarter cards, 88 cards, and I do 20 cents. So 88 times 10 is what, 880. So that's what, 1760? Is that right? 88 times 20 cents. 1760. Okay. So I am still okay enough in my head. So I 17, I'm like, do like $15. So whatever. And what's 88? What's 15 divided by 88? 17 cents a card on like a stack, a big stack. If somebody buys a whole box, it's down to like 10 cents. Sometimes I'm like, if it's an old box that I just want to get rid of, it might be 5 cents a card. So it just kind of varies. Jenny says, I won't be able to stay for 2 hours, but I'll rewatch the mock draft. So tell me who I want to see drafted. Who is drafting first? Who should the Vikings want? The Carolina Panthers are drafting first, and I think they're going to take, I know they're going to take a quarterback. Man City is cheating scum, says Brian. Dan says, from all your stories, I swear your dad was 60 when they had you. He was pretty close. So my dad was 42 when I was born. So he was an older gentleman. He was an older father. So yeah, you're not far off. Let's see. Good morning, AA cards in the house. Gotta bring my matter plants in for the night. Dorky Angler, what's up? Love the name. Welcome to the chat. I think everyone forgot that Team Cheerios existed, and that was the best of the best for cereal. They sadly don't make it anymore. I don't remember Team Cheerios. Let's see. Low Roller says, I got to list more hockey and soccer. Mark says, I was at the 1995 draft at Madison Square Garden when the Jets picked Kyle Brady over Warren Sapp. Jets fans weren't happy. When were the Jets fans ever happy campers? It doesn't matter who they draft. They're going to boo. Let's see. And Kyle Brady ended up being pretty good, right? I mean, certainly not Warren Sapp, but it's not like he was Blair Thomas. How do you do your table layout for your shows? Pen and paper, improv? Pen and paper. So I have, I don't think I have one on me, but what I did was, I'll take a piece of paper and I'll draw out in a Sharpie. I did this once and then I just made copies. So I know how many tables I can get into the upstairs room. And so I have that layout and then I just pencil in the names. So because there's cancellations, I can erase and move people around. So I do that with all three areas. There's an upstairs ballroom. There's the mezzanine outside the upstairs ballroom. And then there's the downstairs first floor ballroom. And then with pencil, I'll pencil in the names. I keep a spreadsheet with my dealers and whether they've paid or not, and just run off that. So that's how I handle my table layout for the Madison Card Show, which is this Saturday, 9 to 3 at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. Free admission. Cinnamon improves every dish in existence. I've got to agree with that. There is not one thing that cinnamon does not improve. I think I would agree. Eaton Place. Love it. I'm going to drop that on the wife and see how she reacts. That an Eaton Place? My dad also called movies picture shows. Now, my mom, my dad was 42. There was, I think, he might have been, he would have been 42. He would have just turned 42. My dad's birthday was a week before mine. So I think he would have just turned 42 when I was born. My mom was 27 when I was born. So there was like almost 15 years difference between my mom and dad. So my dad said old-timey things like Eaton Place and picture shows. Yes, my dad called movies picture shows. Like, come on, Dad. It's not 1945. It's called a movie theater, not a picture show. So like when I was in high school, like me and my friends would go to the movies. We'd go see American Pie in the theater. And so my dad would be like Saturday morning, my dad would be like, did you go to the picture show last night? And my mom would die laughing because she was young and hip. My dad was old. Picture show. Did you go to the picture show last night? Like, yeah, I went to the picture show, and then we went out to an eating place. Oh, fun times. Max says, I've never been a picky eater. I'm not a small person. I have a few lines I don't cross, but that's about it. My friend Scott, my best friend, he was that kid. He was that freaking kid. He's a little better as an adult, but he's like, yeah, I don't want to eat that. And so my mom would have to make him hot dogs and chop it up for him. Scotty. Love you, buddy. Let's see. Angel Baby says, yep, I discovered bananas on Wheaties a couple of years ago. Oh, dude, bananas on cereal freaking rocks, especially Wheaties. Bananas on Wheaties is the best. Bananas on what else? Frosted Flakes is good. But yeah, bananas on Wheaties, hell yeah. Costco has this Saigon cinnamon that will grow hair on the moon. Stuff is amazing. Interesting. John says, Bo selling game-used SGC hat once he gets a new one this summer. Hey, there you go. You can have my old one. Let's see. I don't like cereal at all, says Double A Cards. I like cereal. Fruit Brute. Yes, that's the other one. I don't like cereal at all. Double A, wow. I like cereal, but I just never eat it. I just never eat cereal. We'll probably be using the Upper Deck hat by then, but thanks all the, hey, you bet. Bran Flakes, just kidding. Corn Pops, cinnamon, Apple Jacks. What is with everybody in Apple Jacks? Oh, I know, it's my own personal experience. I might like Apple Jacks if I had them today, because it's been 30 years or more since the great puking incident of 1989. Apple Jacks. Fruit Brute is like the Oliver from Brady Bunch. Okay, I was thinking that was kind of where we were going with that. We are going to do an NFL mock draft, by the way. We are getting there. I recently bought 2 boxes of Frankenberry for my son. He's not a fan. I'll send you the unopened one if you want it. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Tony the Tiger, that is Frosted Flakes. It's okay. Yep, Andy, my stepkids were like, meh. At their dad's house, they're forced to eat because it's always marked down after Halloween because it won't even sell at Walmart. Didn't Genesis have a song called Paper Base? I don't know. Paper Base, love it. Consider it done. I won't forget as long as you don't. We'll make it happen. You bet. You have an email or any better way to DM you? Yes. Let's see. By the way, you can email me at 1 Million Cubs Project now. I think that's the email address. 1 Million Cubs Project. So 1 Million Cubs Project at gmail.com. I can actually, I figured out a way to stop all the eBay emails. So I can actually see non-eBay emails. So because I would like, if you ever emailed me in the last like 3 years at 1 Million Cubs Project at gmail.com and I did not respond, it's because I didn't see it, because I was buried in eBay emails. But I finally figured out how to not be buried in eBay emails. Let's see. Low Roller talking about Bud Light. Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Max says if you watched Bowman yesterday, you probably didn't see the plethora of panini points coming out of Optic Contenders football. I did not. That sucks. I hate panini points. I have a panini redemption that I got out of a Elite Extra Edition break. I think it's here. Well, shit, it's not here, so that means I have to go find it so I can, because I haven't subbed it yet. Well, shit. It's a Caleb Killian. I don't know what it is, but I have a redemption that I've got to get on Panini. Quick question. What are the best 2023 Topps Baseball Series 1 cards? I know, but I don't know. Anybody? Man. I can't even remember. It's been a couple months. I don't know. Probably rookies. Who were the rookies? I can't remember who the top rookies were. Max says saw at least 2 cases with 7+ 900 Panini points cards. Oh, that sucks. In the 70s, many parents wouldn't buy sugar cereals. Our parents would buy us plain Shreddies. So we piled the sugar up on the spoon. I remember as a kid putting sugar on my cereal. Like Wheaties. Like mom would buy wheat or Life. That's what mom always bought, Life. And I just pour that sugar on. $20 plus minus. Dave Pearson. Have had good luck prompting items per your advice. Promoting items per your advice. Do you promote every card? I do. I promote store-wide. It's just easier that way. Yeah. I promote store-wide. It's just, I think that's the best way to go. John says, we haven't once mentioned yellow moons, pink hearts, green. Yeah, Lucky Charms. I can't believe we haven't mentioned the magically delicious cereal, Lucky Charms. Everybody loves Lucky Charms, big time. The eBay drain has already started this morning. Uh-oh. Has my eBay drain started? Oop, I've made some sales since we went live. Let's see. Has my eBay drain begun? It's painful. It's painful. Oh, it started. Oh, no. That's what I was afraid of. My eBay drain has also begun. Let's see. Do you charge extra if you buy the whole box in your 25-cent box? You charge them extra to cover supply? No. It's all in. Sapp was on the chronic. Most team passed on him that year. How far are we back? We've caught up to, we're only 8 minutes behind. We're going to do the NFL mock draft, by the way. Still to come. 5,000 count monster boxes go for as low as $15 in Florida if you find the right buyer, chock full of junk wax era mixed with modern semi-star and star cards. Great deals when you can find them. Nice. Card Hobbyist says, I don't drink milk often, but I find it humorous when people dog other people for drinking it when they don't have any problem eating the aged and curdled form of it, a.k.a. cheese. That's a good point. That is a great point. George says, I am the chronic a-hole. Angel Baby's going to grab some coffee. All right. Come on back. We're going to do the NFL mock draft. I'm not sure there's anything I enjoy that has cinnamon in it, though. American Pie. There was a beautiful scene in the moving picture, if I remember correctly. Yes, there was. Shannon Elizabeth. Cinnamon Eggos are pretty darn good. Never had that. Bananas are the goat of fruits. Bananas are amazing. I'm a banana Cheerio person now with skim milk. The 50s are fun. I've settled now. I get skim. I'm trying to find the words I'm looking for. But I have, whatever it is, I've conformed, and I am now a skim milk drinker because that's what my wife drinks. And so if we have milk in the house, if I'm at the store, because I don't drink milk that often, like I don't eat cereal. So when I do, it's like, well, my wife's going to drink it too. So skim milk it is. Bananas and Cheerios. Love it. You know, I probably right now would prefer bananas and Cheerios over Cinnamon Toast Crunch or any other of those cereals, or Wheaties and bananas. George agrees. It's a nice combo. Greg, what's happening? Greg Lopez in the house. King Vitamins or Kaboom? Let's see. Max says, might as well just use water. Skim milk is like taking a bowl and filling it with milk-flavored water. Gross. It's not, though. Unless you're drinking, Max is from Wisconsin, though. So he probably just drinks straight from the cow. But skim milk doesn't even faze me anymore. Like if I went back to like whole milk, it would probably be like, oh, what the hell is this? But I would I think when I started drinking skim, when my wife would always get it, and it's like, oh, we only have skim milk. Because there was a time I ate more cereal, drank more milk, and there was a time where I would have my milk and my wife would have her milk. Now it's like I don't drink enough, but kept going spoiled. And so, okay, I'm not going to buy milk anymore. So when I do, it's just skim milk, and it's fine. But I think at the beginning it was gross to me because I was not used to skim milk. I was drinking typically 2%. But I think I also weaned down to skim milk because I think I may have started on whole milk and then went to 2%, then went to 1%. Now it's skim milk. Let's see. Terry says, I haven't heard my favorite. It must be hated. I think so. Raisin Bran. I can take Raisin Bran if I have bananas. I can't eat Raisin Bran on its own. Throw some bananas in there, and it makes it, for me, tolerable. Rep's email is now 14,326 in line to be read. Angel Baby is back. By the way, more frame freezing on StreamYard than YouTube. That's common for some reason. Interesting. Card Hobbyist is not a Lucky Charms fan. The cereal with the squeaky marshmallows. I haven't. If I had Lucky Charms today, I might not like it because it's another cereal I haven't eaten in probably 25 years. Angel Baby picked up the 89 Fleer Billy Ripken F-Face in Gem 10. Question, is that card a low pop card now? I don't know. Let's see. Do you like to eat Leprechaun cereal? Lucky Charms. I don't not like it. Hot coffee in hand. Talking Tatis says Wheaties Breakfast of Champions and cross-dressing decathlon winners. Skim milk tastes like milk-infused water. Fair Life is decent milk for those who have sensitive tummies or Timmies. Be nice to sensitive Timmies. I got on an almond milk kick, and almond milk's really good. Like, especially if you get that vanilla flavored almond milk. Ooh, that's good stuff. Whole milk is like cream to me now. I'm the same. Like if I drank whole milk today, it would be like, ooh, way too thick. I've been drinking skim so long that I'm acclimated. That's kind of where I'm at. I've had it for so long that it's just okay. Have you ever drank straight from the cow? Nothing better. Absolutely nothing. No, I haven't. Can you do that? Let's see. How about them 2023 Jets? Jets, Jets. Like from the teat? Oh. Have I shared my teat story? All right. So I've got to share. We're going to get to the NFL mock draft eventually. We'll get there. But I want to share my teat story. So where I grew up in Anawan, Illinois, there's a town about 20 minutes away called Bishop Hill. Bishop Hill. And it's a big Swedish community. And it's very old-timey. It's kind of like a tourist attraction in that area, Bishop Hill. And we don't call it Bishop Hill. We call it Bishop Hill. Like it's all one word. Bishop Hill. Bishop Hill. So Bishop Hill. So in 5th grade, we go to Bishop Hill for a field trip. And it's like a day-long field trip. And we have to carry like water like the old-timey people did in the old days. Like water buckets from the well. We had to like fish it out of the well, the water, and then we had to carry it. We had to chop wood. We had this awful meal of like cornbread, and the cornbread was it wasn't like cornbread today with all the like good stuff they add to it. It was like cornbread, like probably just corn and bread. So another thing we had to do was milk cows. So we're milking cows. Remember, I'm in 5th grade. I also had not gone to the bathroom in a while. And there's this old man. He had to have been 90 years old. And he's milking the cow. And he kept saying titties. And as a I'm 40 and I'm laughing right now. And an old 90-year-old man say, you got to squeeze the titties. And I'm like dying because I'm freaking, how old are you in 5th grade? 10, 11, 12? I don't know. But I'm 40 and still laughing. I was laughing much harder at age 10. Let's see. I'm trying to think. 5th grade, 96 minus 3. 96 minus 3 is what, 93? So yeah, about 11 maybe. I'm laughing my ass off, okay? I hadn't gone to the bathroom in a while. I peed my pants laughing on the field trip to Bishop Hill because the old 90-year-old man kept saying titties. Squeeze the titties. So that's my peeing my pants 5th grade field trip, Bishop Hill. John says it's easy to step down. 2%, 1% skim. Absolutely. Into a glass card hobbyist, but yes, warm and fresh. So he's not doing that. But I've never done that either. I drank straight from the cow, tasted like the cow got into an onion patch. Ew. Card hobbyist says, sorry for being facetious. Jets are like the Mets. They'll win the offseason again, and then the fans will cry at the end. Teat tangent. That was my teat tangent. Rascal 30, what's up? I didn't like any of those cereals with the fake marshmallows like Lucky Charms. Felt like biting onto small pieces of chalk. I get it. We got used to them. They taste great. Was the old man dressed as a clown and named John Wayne? Oh. No, this wasn't the 70s, John. This wasn't the 70s. Let's see. It wasn't Mr. Gacy. 2 years ago, we were laughing at the Star Wars bar, which featured blue milk from Teats. We started calling them tech titties. Tech titties. Cannot wait for breakfast today. Boomer, Mets, and Jets, don't cry. We're used to disappointment. Let's talk NFL draft. I have the mock draft simulator from PFF.com. Let's present. That sounds weird just after talking about titties. Let's present. Share screen. There we go. Whole red cap or no milk, says Terry. Okay, we want a Chrome tab. We want the mock draft simulator. Share that screen. Okay, now I got to see how much of the screen it's sharing. Do we need to see me? No, we don't need to see me. Let's see. There we go. Okay, full screen on the mock draft. John says, I feel like you've just done a year's worth of therapy for those here by venting about cereal. Okay, NFL mock draft. Carolina Panthers on the board. All right. So the Carolina Panthers traded up to the number 1 pick with my, you can't even, pounding my chest. You can't even see me on the screen. They traded up to the Chicago Bears for the 9th pick, for a first-round pick next year, another pick in this year's draft in wide receiver DJ Moore. Obviously, you're trading up to the number 1 pick. You're going to take a quarterback. Now, there have been multiple players in conversation about taking the number 1 pick. Now, it's been kind of a 2-horse race between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Who's going to go number 1? But entering the conversation this week, there's been talk of potentially Anthony Richardson. There's been talk of Will Levis the other day, and I think that's all gamesmanship. John says it in the chat. Panthers are taking Young, slam dunk. I agree. I think tonight the Carolina Panthers are on the clock, and they are going to take Bryce Young with the number 1 pick. So that takes the Houston Texans are on the board. Now, I think there's a lot of gamesmanship leading into the draft. In draft week, you're going to hear a lot of teams are putting names out there, and now all of a sudden this week you're starting to hear, well, I'm hearing the Texans may not take a quarterback. They might focus on defense. The Texans also have the number 12 pick in this year's draft. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. The Houston Texans, they need a quarterback. I'm not sure they're going to get the quarterback or a quarterback. I don't even know. There's 4 quarterbacks that are going to go in the first round. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. I don't think any of those 4 will be available at number 12. So if Houston takes the best player available on their board that's not a quarterback, I think they would have to trade up from number 12 to get up higher to get a quarterback. So they basically have their pick of who's not drafted number 1 overall. So the Houston Texans on the board, I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, gamesmanship. They're going to take a quarterback. Let's filter the position. They're going to take, so here's our top quarterbacks, CJ Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. They are going to draft CJ Stroud from Ohio State. So I think CJ Stroud goes to the Houston Texans. John says DeMeco Ryans, head coach of the Texans, wants to build the defense with the number 2 pick. I don't think they will. I think they do need a lot of help on defense. I think they're going to go defense with the number 12 pick. They're going to take a quarterback at number 2 with a talent that is still on the board. Number 3, we've got the Arizona Cardinals. This is a pick that could potentially be traded. I'm not doing any trades in this morning's mock draft. So we're going to go straight chalk on the teams picking. I think there's a potential the Cardinals could go with a trade here. But for reasons of no trades in this mock, I think they're going to go defense. There's too many question marks surrounding on PFF.com's player rankings, Jalen Carter. I think he's going to slide. I think Will Anderson is the pick to the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals take the edge from Alabama, Will Anderson. Now we come to another spot where there is a quarterback, Indianapolis Colts. They're going to take a quarterback. Now, who's it going to be? Stroud and Young are off my board. So the quarterbacks remaining that are first-round talents that could be picked this high, Will Levis from Kentucky and Anthony Richardson. In my opinion, there's question marks regarding both of these quarterbacks. And I think you're going to see neither of these players. I think neither of these players will be great starters. I think they might both be busts. Will Levis, there's a lot of question marks with him. Anthony Richardson is a freak athlete, but there's such little. He kind of has the same resume collegiately that Mitch Trubisky had coming out of college. There's not much of a track record that he had, but he is a freak athlete. That's why I'm going with Anthony Richardson, number 4, because the other 2 quarterbacks are off my board. So number 1, we've got Bryce Young. 2, the Texans are going Stroud. 3, Will Anderson to the Cardinals. 4, we've got the Colts taking Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson. Jumping into the chat, Rascal says Mike Tomczak has been the most successful Ohio State quarterback in history. So why do teams keep drafting quarterbacks from there? That is a great point. And I love the Mike Tomczak reference. Let's see. Stroud scored an 18 on the NFL IQ test, not the Wonderlic. The other 3 quarterbacks scored 79 and higher. Big cognitive problem with Stroud. Yes. CJ or Flipping Sports Guy says just like USC for years, and sadly the USC quarterbacks had better success than OSU. John says OSU QBs are all dummies, and George says Richardson is an effing alligator. Got to go with a beast. Alligator, gator meat is good meat. Love me some gator. Let's see. Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. As a Chicago Bears fan, I'm disappointed with the Seahawks pick. Why? Because they're going to take a chance on the guy with character question marks from Georgia, Jalen Carter. He was involved in that incident where a couple members of the Georgia staff, I think it was one staff member, maybe a player, were killed in an accident. And also he showed up, I believe, was at the NFL Combine or one of the workouts, and he wasn't showing the best. I think he's going to be a pretty good player in the NFL, and I think he doesn't drop further than number 5. Jalen Carter is going to the Seattle Seahawks. Now Detroit, the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid, they are on the board. This time, I think Detroit's going defense, and I think they're going to focus on the secondary. So let's see. Can I filter positions to defensive backs to see who we have as the top defensive backs? Can I filter cornerbacks? Okay, so and those are the 2 guys that I thought. I think Detroit's going to focus between Devin Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez. I think they're going to go with the higher, at least on this board, PFF.com. I think they're going to go with the guy from Illinois, Devin Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois. Now we get to the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to the chat. We've got Dan Marino scored a 15 on the Wonderlic. And Flipping Sports Guy says, I think John Kitna is the best out of Florida. So we've got the Las Vegas Raiders on the board. This is another spot where you think a quarterback is going to go. Hopefully Will Levis is their guy. If not, they either trade out of this pick or they go with another position. I think they go with the quarterback. The Raiders, on a yearly basis surprise us. And who knows who the Raiders might go. I think the Raiders do draft a quarterback, and we see the fourth quarterback fall off the board, Kentucky's Will Levis to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now we get to the Atlanta Falcons. According to PFF.com, it says they need a quarterback, a wide receiver, or an edge. So the Atlanta Falcons, I don't know what they're going to do here. This is, for me, in predicting who the Atlanta Falcons take. I don't know. There's no quarterbacks on the board. Nolan Smith is an edge, and we've got a wide receiver in Jackson Smith in Jigba from Ohio State, the Buckeyes. I'm going to go with the wide receiver here. I think it's too high, but I honestly just don't know where the Falcons are going to go. So that's just me pulling one out of my ass. I don't know who the Falcons are going to take, so I'm going to peg Jackson Smith and Jigba to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy says ignore Kitna. Google, for some reason, had him with Florida. Curmudgeon says my comment was about the IQ test, different than the Wonderlic. They have two tests. Let's see. Let's go back to the mock draft here, and we've got the Chicago Bears on the clock. They've got a lot of needs. So the Bears have a lot of needs. Depending on who's here, they're going to either go defense or an offensive tackle. I think the defensive guys that they would pick at number 9 are no longer on the board. I think the Bears could trade down in this spot. I think the Steelers would be a potential trade target at the 17th pick. But purposes of this mock draft, we're going to say the Chicago Bears are going to draft. The defensive guys they want are not on the board. That would be Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. They have been picked. So I think they're going to take an offensive tackle. Now it comes down to, is it Northwestern's Peter Skoronski or is it Ohio State's Paris Johnson? I'm going to go with Paris Johnson if he's still on the board. Where's Paris Johnson? He's down here. He's ranked below Peter Skoronski on this, but I think the Bears, if Johnson is still there at number 9, he goes with the Bears go with the Ohio State tackle. Now we've got the Philadelphia Eagles. Where's John? John says Eagles needing wide receivers. Come on. No way. He says the Bears need a quarterback. No, we've got Justin Fields. He's our guy. Eagles lack wide receiver depth. I would never put that as their top need, though. Maybe 4th, 5th. George says don't take anybody that has an actual photo, team logo only. So now we're at the Philadelphia Eagles at number 10. So on their needs list, wide receiver, guard, center, in defensive tackle and safety. So who goes to the Philadelphia Eagles? I'm going to go with the Crimson Tides. Brian Branch goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Brian Branch, the safety from Alabama. Now the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Titans, according to PFF.com, they need offensive line help. They need a wide receiver. Peter Skoronski is the top offensive lineman on the board. He could go higher than 11, but in this mock draft, we've got Peter Skoronski going number 11 to the Tennessee Titans, which puts the Houston Texans back on the board after taking Bryce Young with the number 1 overall pick. Now DeMeco Ryans, he wants some defensive help in Houston. This is where the Texans go defense. And we've got Nolan Smith, the edge out of Georgia, who has absolutely climbed the rankings. Kalijah Cansey, Miles Murphy. Those are all quality picks. I like Nolan Smith the best out of this bunch, but I don't think he goes here to Houston. I think they go with Miles Murphy out of Clemson, number 12 to the Houston Texans. John says this is why the NFL cannot be touched. Mock draft and fantasy football are powerful marketing tools. That's a great point. John says if Eagles stay there, it'll be the offensive lineman from Northwest. That's a good point. Peter Skoronski to the Eagles at number 10. I could see that. I could totally see that. Now we go to the Green Bay Packers, who just moved up to number 13 with their trade with the New York Jets for Aaron Rodgers. So PFF says they need a quarterback. They've got a quarterback. Now, I think when PFF says these are the needs of the team, I think these are just all the needs, regardless of how high. Like, will the Packers draft a quarterback? I think they will, but it's certainly not going to be in the first or second round. It's going to be, fifth, sixth round, maybe third, fourth round. So some of these, needs on these teams are just in general, generally speaking. Like, and I can speak more. I can speak better with of better knowledge with the Chicago Bears. It says they need tackle, center, defensive lineman, cornerback. With that first pick, they're either going edge or tackle with the number 9 pick. They're not going to go cornerback at number 1. They're not going to go center. And part of that's because there's no centers that would be taken at number 9. But anyway, Green Bay Packers, number 13. They're not going to take a quarterback here. They're not going to take a wide receiver here, although wide receiver could be in question. If Jackson Smith-Njigba is still on the board, we had him going number 8 to the Falcons, which I don't. Looking back at this mock draft, I could do this one again, and I'd probably change that pick. I'd probably agree with John on the Eagles and take Skoronski at 10 instead of Brian Branch. But we're going to go number 13, Green Bay Packers. A host of needs in Green Bay. You've got Dalton Kincaid, the tight end from Utah. Let's see. Who else do they're looking at defensive lineman and safety. You've got Michael Meyer, Notre Dame, Joey Porter Jr., Jordan Addison. I think they're going to go with the tight end. I think the Packers go tight end at number 13. Dalton Kincaid to Green Bay. Let's see. Max says we will go wide receiver, defensive lineman. He's talking about the Packers. A lot of talk about us going JSN if available. Gross taking an OSU guy. But I agree with Max. If Jackson Smith-Njigba is still there at number 13, which I think he probably will be, I think you can put Njigba at number 13 to the Packers. In this draft, I had him being taken up at number 8, so he's not available. Let's see. All right. So now we're at number 14 to the Patriots. They say they need a quarterback, a tackle, and an edge. They have some quarterbacks. I don't know if the quarterbacks they want, but there's not going to be a quarterback that's gonna fill in at the number 14 pick here. So they've got a tackle and an edge for the New England Patriots. Who's Bill Belichick gonna take? It's a great question. I don't know. I am going to, for the focus of this mock draft, let's go edge here. I like Nolan Smith. I've still got Christian Gonzalez on my board. I've still got Bijan Robinson on my board. I'm going to take Nolan Smith going number 14 to the New England Patriots. Now we go to number 15. We've got the Jets who, according to PFF, need a tackle and a linebacker. So who does the New York Jets? Who do they take? I think they are going to go offensive lineman here and protect their new quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. And they're going to go Broderick Jones out of Georgia, another Bulldog off the board. Back-to-back picks. That makes, 3 Georgia Bulldogs in the top 15? After Jalen Carter, we had Jalen Carter going 5 to the Seahawks. So let's recap the first 15 picks of our Hobby Evolution mock draft. Number 1, Bryce Young, the Alabama quarterback, to the Texans, or to the Panthers. Number 2 to the Texans, Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud. We've got the edge from Alabama, Will Anderson, going number 3 to the Cardinals. Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback, goes 4 to the Colts. We've got Jalen Carter out of Georgia going 5 to the Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback out of Illinois, 6 to the Lions. Quarterback out of Kentucky, Will Levis, to the Raiders, number 8. And this is probably the first pick I don't like out of my mock draft. Jackson Smith-Njigba to the Atlanta Falcons. I'd probably switch that out doing this over. Paris Johnson, 9 to the Bears. Brian Branch, the safety out of Alabama, to the Eagles. That's another one I don't like out of my mock draft. Peter Skoronski going 11 to the Titans. Miles Murphy, the edge, to the Texans. Dalton Kincaid, Utah tight end, goes 13 to the Packers. Nolan Smith out of Georgia goes 14 to the Patriots. And his teammate on the other side of the ball, tackle Broderick Jones, 15 to the New York Jets. Flipping Sports Guy says Kincaid has been shooting up the board the last couple days. He has. And I've got a nice gold shimmer refractor out of last year's Bowman U that I'll be listing on eBay tonight. Now we're at number 16. We've got the Washington football team. Oh, yeah, they're the Commanders now. The Washington Commanders come in at number 16 with a bunch of needs, including quarterback, guard, center, and linebacker. So who are we going to mock to the Washington Commanders? I think they're going to go offensive line here. There's going to be a run on tackles. And we've got Darnell Wright out of Tennessee going 16 to the Washington Commanders, which puts the Steelers on the board at number 17. They also need a tackle, but I think their tackle with the last two picks, Broderick Jones and Darnell Wright, no longer available. So they're going to go linebacker or defensive back here in Pittsburgh. Who do they take? Christian Gonzalez. He slides all the way down to number 17. Christian Gonzalez is a guy I could see in the top 10, but it all depends on how the draft plays out. If he doesn't go top 10, he could slide all the way down into the top 20 picks. John says, what's the mood in the Deer District this morning? The Milwaukee Bucks, a lot of unhappy Bucks fans. Bucks are out. Bucks not in 6. Now we've got the Lions at number 18. This is their second pick of the first round. They went cornerback with number 6, Devin Witherspoon. So who do they take at number 18? Other needs, they need a defensive lineman, they need a wide receiver, and they need a tight end. So I think they go either Jordan Addison, the wide receiver, Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame, but I'm going to mock them to another guy who's been climbing draft boards, the defensive lineman out of Pitt, Kalijah Cansey. He goes number 18 to the Detroit Lions. Now we're at number 19. Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the board. A lot of needs in Tampa. Who do we put in Tampa? We still have Bijan Robinson, one of the most talented players in this NFL draft. I think I'm going to put to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We are going to go with Michael Mayer, not from Halloween, but from Notre Dame, goes number 19 to the Buccaneers. Now we go back to Seattle. The Seahawks have their second pick. Remember, they took Jalen Carter back at number 5. They're back at number 20. They need some offensive line help, and we're going to mock them. Anton Harrison, the tackle out of Boomer Sooner. Number 21 pick, that was forfeited by the Miami Dolphins, so the real number 21 pick goes to the Chargers, now in LA, not San Diego, which still screws me up. Wide receiver, linebacker, or cornerback. Where in the hell is Bijan Robinson going to go? It's not going to be to the Chargers, because in this draft, we're going to put Joey Porter Jr., the son of Joey Porter. He goes number 21 to the Chargers, which brings the Baltimore Ravens on the clock. The Ravens need wide receivers, edge. They need a cornerback. And who do we mock to the Baltimore Ravens? The Baltimore Ravens will take Deonte Banks, the cornerback out of Maryland. Now we get to the Minnesota Vikings. We've got some Vikings fans in here. Vikings on the clock. They need they have a lot of needs as well. Bijan Robinson still on the board, but I don't think the Vikings are going to go. I think they're going to pick between a couple of wide receivers, Quentin Johnston out of TCU and the USC wide receiver, Jordan Addison. I'm going to mock to the Vikings, USC wideout, Jordan Addison. Bijan Robinson is still in our mock draft board. He could go in the top 10, but I think it all depends on how this draft plays out tonight. Number 24, Jacksonville Jaguars. They need some help up on the offensive line. They also need some defensive help. So they are not going to take Bijan Robinson, but the Jaguars are going to take a defensive back, Emmanuel Forbes, out of Mississippi State. The New York Giants. Okay, now here's where we get to Bijan Robinson. I think Bijan Robinson in this draft is either going to go in the next two picks, either New York Giants or the Dallas Cowboys. One of these two teams is going to take Bijan Robinson, but I don't think it's going to be the Giants. They see Quentin Johnston still on the board, and we've got the TCU wideout going to the Giants, which means Bijan Robinson, you, sir, are a Dallas Cowboy. So finally, Bijan Robinson slips all the way to number 26 in this Hobby Evolution mock draft. Now we have just a few picks remaining. We've got the Buffalo Bills on the board. Defensive lineman, linebacker, and cornerback are on the needs list for the Buffalo Bills. So who does the Buffalo Bills take? I think they're going to take one of the edges at the top. I think Iowa Hawkeye, Lucas Van Ness, goes number 27 to the Buffalo Bills, which brings the Bengals on the clock. They need a tight end, a defensive lineman, and a defensive back. And I think we, to the Cincinnati Bengals, who did I think they were going to take? None of those guys. We're going to put Tyree Wilson to the Bengals. So Tyree Wilson to the Cincinnati Bengals, which brings us to the New Orleans Saints. They need help up on the offensive line. They will take Osiris Torrance out of Florida. 2 picks left. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles back at where? Number 10 took Brian Branch on the defensive side of the football. I think they go offensive side of the football. They're going to take an Ohio State guy, DeWand Jones, another tackle. I think that might be our 5th tackle in the first round. Our final pick, the Kansas City Chiefs, are on the board. There's a few guys that I like for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Josh Downs could go here, the wideout from North Carolina. I think also, I don't think Nathaniel Dell is in play here. I think Felix Anadike Uzoma, Zay Flowers, the wideout from Boston College. I think all of those guys could go here. I think ultimately it's going to come down to 2 wideouts, Josh Downs or Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is the pick. We go Zay Flowers to the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's our mock draft. Hobby Evolution. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Let's go into the chat. George says the Washington Commanders. We got to get that ad out of here. Where's the X button? There we go. Okay. Here we go. The Washington Commanders could also use a name in the draft. I'd go Washington Smoke Poles. Flipping Sports Guy says, I'm hoping Banks falls to New York. ESPN said generational running back born in the wrong generation. Yes, Bijan Robinson. NFL is no longer a running back league. Jags just lost Cam Robinson to a PED suspension too. Giants have Barkley, and John calls me a dummy. Smoke pole is Mississippian for muzzle loading rifle. Flipping Sports Guy says, I've been thinking Dallas will take Bijan just to keep him from Philly. Eagles will most likely be trading down, then back up. Jalen Carter says he got a promise from the Eagles that they'd take him at 10 if he's still there. I'd say he just guaranteed they don't. Howie won't like those loose lips. Howie is wearing his lucky undies and is ready to F things up. Flowers just worked out with Mahomes. I'll wait and see on Howie. His draft record is so wildly inconsistent. Speaking of inconsistent, I think that's how my mock draft is. I don't like this mock draft. It's so hard once you put... I've done so many mock drafts. I love doing mock drafts, and they look different every time. But this is my mock draft, the Hobby Evolution mock draft, so I've got to stick with this. But if I had to do this over, I would the top 5, 6, 7. I like my top 7 in that order. Bryce Young to the Panthers, C.J. Stroud to the Texans, Will Anderson to the Cardinals, Anthony Richardson to the Colts, Jalen Carter at 5, Witherspoon at 6 to the Lions, and the Raiders taking Will Levis. I like how that plays out. But I don't think that's how it's going to play out because teams always surprise us in the NFL draft. My biggest question mark, I think, comes at number 8. I don't like my pick of Jackson Smith-Njigba to Atlanta. I think somebody else, I think the Falcons are going to take somebody else there. I think that's also a pick that could be traded out. I think the Cardinals could trade out at number 3. But I think everything else is going to kind of stay put there. Let's see. The Bears at 9. I think there's potential the Bears trade down. Ultimately, I think the Bears do take Paris Johnson if, say, the Falcons don't take him. I think the Falcons could take Paris Johnson at number 8. But I'm going to stick with Paris Johnson, number 9. I like that pick to the Bears. Number 10, I don't like that pick. Brian Branch to the Eagles. I don't like that pick. I would change that. I think they could take Peter Skoronski there. Maybe even Bijan. Who's the running back? Does Philly need a running back? I don't know. John would know better. Peter Skoronski at 11. I think he's going to probably go higher. If not at 11 to number 10 to Philly. I like Miles Murphy to Houston. I would keep that pick. I like the Packers taking Dalton Kincaid. Patriots are a wild card. I really don't know what they're going to do, so I'll just stick with Nolan Smith. The Jets taking Broderick Jones at tackle. I think that's a good play. Need some offensive line help for Aaron Rodgers. Darnell Wright, another tackle, going to Washington. Christian Gonzalez slipping to number 17. He's a player on this mock draft board that I could see going higher than number 17. Kalijah Kancey at number 18 to the Lions. I'm not too sure about that one. I think Kancey, even though he's been rising on draft boards, I could see him dropping into the second round. Michael Mayer, tight end. I think he's a first rounder. I don't know if he's going to go to Tampa at number 19. That's another pick I'm iffy on. Seahawks taking a tackle, Anton Harrison. I'd stick with that. Porter to the Chargers. Porter's definitely going to go in this range. Whether it's to the Chargers or not, I don't know. Deonte Banks at 22 to Baltimore. Got the Vikings taking Jordan Addison. I think the Vikings do take a wide receiver. In fact, it might not even be Jordan Addison. I think the Vikings will take their pick of Addison, Flowers, and Johnston. So it may not be Addison, but I think it's going to be a wide receiver at 23 to the Vikings. Emmanuel Forbes at Jacksonville. I'd stick with that. Giants taking a wideout in Quentin Johnston. Cowboys in this mock draft, I think Bijan could go much higher. I think he could go in the top 10. But just the way this draft falls, I think if Bijan doesn't go in the top 10, there's only a couple teams that are going to draft Bijan Robinson in the first round. And so he could go in the top 10, but if not, he's probably sliding to this spot to Dallas. Van Ness to the Bills. We've got Tyree Wilson to the Bengals, Osiris Torrance to the Saints, DeJuan Jones to the Eagles at 30. That's one we could flip. If the Eagles take an offensive lineman, a tackle at number 10, then obviously they're going to pick somebody different at number 30. And then I like Zay Flowers to the Kansas City Chiefs if he's still available. So that is my mock draft. Hobby Evolution. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to have to save. Can I email this to myself? And then we could kind of revisit it tomorrow on Hobby Evolution. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with a near 2-hour show this morning. And thanks for allowing me to be late. Where are we at? Let's see. John says drafting Wentz was the greatest pick ever. We continue to profit from it. Howie hit the home run in 20 with Hurts, 21 with Smith. Outside of that, it's been I think Juergens will be a stud, though, when Kelsey moves on. Let's see. Gibbs is being compared to Kamara, which is the Eagles style. Okay. What he did in 2022 was equally important, sacrificing a pick for a proven stud wide receiver. Howie is a genius with trades. He does a great job using his picks in those. So that's our mock draft. Thanks for tuning in. We dropped a lot of viewership. Nobody wanted to hear my mock draft, but we had serial talk in the first hour that boosted the numbers. So thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Can't wait for the draft tonight. Really looking forward to it. We'll review the NFL draft tomorrow, which it's also Friday tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so we'll play Name That Player. So we will play Name That Player tomorrow morning. And we'll also review the NFL draft. With that, I'm going to take off. We've got some shipping to do. Have a great Thursday, and we'll talk tomorrow.